Hello everyone, happy Wednesday evening. Kicking off our first summer wellness webinar, and tonight we're talking about poop. So I know it can be a taboo subject for a lot of people and be kind of uncomfortable. Some people think it's a really gross topic, but for me it's pretty normal now. I don't really have a filter when it comes to going number two. It's no longer TMI for me. As a pediatric chiropractor, I don't think I've ever celebrated pooping more. And I want to know how you're pooping, how everything is going, because that is a really good indicator as to how well your body is functioning overall. So I want to give you some information tonight about this topic because it's a very common thing that we help in our office, and not a lot of people know that chiropractors help with it. So I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes or around 10 minutes, and let's get started. We're going to talk about digestion, what it is, why it's important, and what it can cause if it's not functioning properly, and then how we can help. So digestion goes deeper than just going to the bathroom. It's more than just going number two. Superficially, it's the process of our body taking the food that we eat and taking the nutrients from it and eliminating the waste. But it even goes deeper than that. About 75% of our immune system is determined by the health of our gut. So that's huge. It determines our relationship with the environment, with our environment around us, and how well we can react to it and adapt to it. And then 80% of our serotonin is in our gut, and so that determines our emotional well-being. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood, social behavior, appetite, sleep, those kinds of things. So mood disorders and immunity are two very prominent problems in our society, prominent health problems, and those both go back to how well the gut is functioning. It's incredibly important. So as infants, we're born with an immature digestive system. I don't think that comes as a shock, but it's just very crucial that babies and infants get proper nutrition because their guts, their digestive systems are going to be developing until they're about 6 or 7 years old. So infants, babies, toddlers, that nutrition is very, very, very important, and it can be difficult to maintain proper nutrition, but it's very crucial. And there are other things other than diet that stress the digestive function. There's environmental things, there's pollutants in the air, in the water, in medicines that we take that all can cause extra stress on the body and extra stress on the digestive system. So sometimes it's inevitable that our digestive systems get interference and start to function improperly. So some normal reactions for a stressed out digestive system, like an acute illness, would be diarrhea, vomiting, or a fever. And those things are looked at a lot of times as bad things, but really that's a healthy reaction because that's your body eliminating. I mean, it's your body recognizes something as foreign and is like, that's gotta go. So you either throw it up, poop it out, or your body has to burn it off with a fever. Fevers are I could go on a tangent about that, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to do a webinar later this month about the immune system in general, so we'll talk about that later. But fever, vomiting, and diarrhea are good, healthy ways for your body to get rid of bad things and help de-stress your digestive system. When it becomes chronic is when it becomes a problem because your body can't cleanse, and so we get byproducts of poor digestion like mucus and inflammation, and also we get constipation. Constipation is difficulty emptying your bowels. It's difficulty being able to go to the bathroom. It's officially diagnosed after you've gone about 3 days without going to the bathroom. It causes hard stools, so it's kind of a snowball effect, because the longer that waste stays in your colon, the more water gets pulled out of it, so then it becomes harder and harder to go to the bathroom. So it can be a very uncomfortable thing, and it also causes, gas to build up in the colon. And just thinking about that, like, that's toxins that are sitting in your body that need to be eliminated. So you can imagine that's not a very good thing. And then obviously results in colic, not all the time, but babies get colic. 20% of babies get colic under 4 months, and then they usually develop a pattern. So if a baby's screaming every night for a certain period of time, like that tends to be colic, and that's a sign that that they might have digestive issues or poor digestive health. So when it comes to infants, they should be going to the bathroom, going number 2, 4 to 6 times a day. That's about normal. I hear a lot like, oh, they go once a day, and it's one huge one. So that's actually an indicator that things aren't functioning properly. They should be going 4 to 6 times a day. I've also heard from quite a few patients that their doctors have told them that it's normal for babies, around 6 to 8 weeks to stop going to the bathroom. And they'll go days or even weeks without going, and the doctors tell them that it's normal. It's common. Common and normal are not the same at all. But no, it's definitely not normal. They say that it's, especially if they're breastfed babies, this isn't usually typical for babies who are on formula, but for breastfed babies, they'll say it's normal because they're using it all up, or their digestive systems are just so efficient that they're using it all up and there's no waste. I don't buy that. Babies need to poop. There's always gonna be waste product, unless a mom's got like perfectly pure breast milk. I don't buy it. Babies need to be pooping every day, multiple times a day. We need to consistently be getting rid of those toxins. So, and then you got to think about, what about the babies who are pooping 4 to 6 times a day? Like, are they just producing massive waste? So again, I don't buy into that. Bottom line, babies need to be pooping, and adults. We all need to be, but specifically babies at this point, because they're still, their digestive systems are so sensitive. Some other indicators of poor digestion would be pasty or dry poops. That means more excess water is being taken out, so it's probably sitting there longer, so it's coming out slower. If they have mucousy poops, if they have green poops, if they're straining a lot and there's only like a skid mark in the diaper, or if they have hard, pebbly poops. Those are all indicators that something is not working properly in their digestive system. And then it doesn't always present as bad poops, or sometimes that will just go away. Those symptoms will just disappear, and then it can manifest in other ways that you wouldn't necessarily link to poor digestion. But some of those things are eczema, skin rashes, thrush, if they start to develop dark circles around their eyes, they're not sleeping well, they're not eating or interested, they have a poor appetite, they're not growing and developing well. They are labeled as high knee babies, where they can't ever be put down because they're so uncomfortable all the time. Reflux is another big indicator. Congestion, because like I said, mucus is a byproduct of poor digestion, mucus and inflammation. So, and then later on, infections and things like that. Arching, if they're arching a lot while they're nursing, that's another indicator. And then infections in general, like I just said. So those are all indicators of poor digestion. And then you might be thinking, why or how do chiropractors help? So it's very common for people to think that we are doctors of bones only, but really we're nervous system doctors. We're doctors of the nervous system. We take care of the spine because it's what's housing and protecting the nervous system. And that nervous system is the communication pathway between the brain and the body. So if there's extra tension on the spine or misalignments in the spine, it affects how well the nervous system is able to function. And there are nerves that come out around the low back, upper low back, that go and innervate and communicate with the digestive system to tell it how to function. So if there's tension in those areas especially, it can decrease the messages from the brain to the body, and the digestive system just isn't able to function as well as it should. So our job is to find those areas of stress on the spine and relieve it, take away that stress, and allow the body to function as it should. So that's why we see so much improvement in babies and kids and adults with these kinds of problems. We have such great success rates with it because the body is incredible, and it is able to work properly if we give it the right environment. So nutrition is a big thing. Proper nutrition, proper hydration is huge as well. But if the nervous system isn't functioning as well, that's primary. So it doesn't matter how great your nutrition is. If the nervous system still has stress on it, the body's just not going to be able to function at 100%. So we want to make sure that on top of nutrition and proper hydration are all functioning at their full potential. So I don't know how long I've been on, but that's about all I've got for you guys. If anybody has questions, comment in here. Let us know that you were listening, and we'll see you next week or for our next webinar. Good night, guys.